Hello everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining us to tonight's episode of Rovers Roundup Live, brought to you by GNC Industrial Cleaning. Joining us today on our virtual episode is Jimmy Kindhost and George King. Hi guys, thanks very much for joining us. How are we?
Hi Ruddy, good thanks. How are you?
I'm good. How about you, George?
Yeah, all good. All good, Ruddy. All good.
Good stuff. Things have been tough lately with the club lockdown. How have you both found it? We'll start with you, Jimmy.
Yeah, obviously it's been an odd few days for us, getting kind of locked out of training and whatnot, and having to postpone the games, which came at a bit of bad timing for us because we were picking up some form there with the last couple of weeks and real going well. So yeah, it's just a bit of a bump in the road, and hopefully we can get back to it sort of back end of this week now, and look forward to our next game and hopefully get those postponements played later on in the season.
And for you, George, as Jimmy says, it's a bump in the road when we were building some real momentum after those recent victories.
Yeah, it is. Obviously, it's not helpful in that regard. I think Jimmy just pretty much just said everything there. First couple of days, it's always nice, really nice spending with your family. But then after that, you really miss training and being around the lads and stuff like that. So I think where we've been going and stuff like that, I'm sure we'll pick up on it in training and we'll kick off from there.
Do you think, Jimmy, that the layoff will be of benefit to players in the squad in terms of resting the bodies, or do you think it's going to be a case of refinding that energy from the recent victories and the momentum of builds?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I don't know how some of the lads have gone with, obviously some of them have contracted COVID and have their own issues with that. I was luckily negative with it, so I've been able to carry on some kind of training at home and keep on top of things with that. But we'll sort of regroup as of sort of the back end of this week, and hopefully, it's been able to sort of freshen the body up a bit in terms of bumps and bruises or niggles maybe. But we'll be looking forward to getting back into it and training properly and training hard this week, I think.
George, how have you found the lockdown in terms of being away? You talked about you missing the lads and stuff. Have you been doing anything at home? Any training, going out for a run, doing some circuits, anything at all?
Well, obviously, I've had to isolate because I've obviously been in contact with some of the lads what tested positive. So I'm lucky in the fact that during the last lockdown, or it might have been the first lockdown, sorry, I managed to do my garage up and turn it into a bit of a gym.
Right. So
in that sense, I haven't really missed out in terms of physical. But I'm sure come training time, I'll still be blowing and be needed to catch up, that's for sure. So, no, I'm being honest, just stay on top of things, and I've been lucky in that regard.
And you mentioned you was a negative, Jimmy. Have you had the chance to do some training? Have you got a home or anything to give yourself a workout?
Yeah, so from last year, really, my brother had some free weights at his house, and he sort of dropped them off at mine, so I could carry on with training at home when it all kicked off a bit last year. So I've been able to keep them and done some training for myself at home, really. Yeah. Obviously, it's not like the stuff we do when we're in together in the gym and on the field at Craven Park, but obviously, it's just a matter of trying to take over and keep the body in as good a shape as we can, ready to come back and crack into it, really.
Up to this point of this lockdown, we've had a much improved performance and season so far than last year. It must be great to be part around the squad and enjoying that more positive atmosphere. For you, Jimmy, a lot of tough defeats last year. Close games which went against us, and it must be lovely to have more points coming in on for the team onto the Super League ladder and see us where we are.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's been massive this year, and it's just been, whilst I've not managed to get on the pitch too much so far, it's been great to be around the lads in the positive environment that we've got, and I think that's shown in the games we've played, and we've made some real improvements and real strides this year, and it's been great to be around that, support where I can in terms of my role in the squad. But the lads have been fantastic. at the start of this year, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going sort of as we return now after this sort of little layoff and really make a push for it, because I think there's bags of potential in this squad and in this team. It has been great to be around it whilst I've not been sort of involved on the pitch as much as I'd like to be, but I've been there where I can to support and help out, and it's been great to be around that. There's a real positive atmosphere running through the squad at the moment, so hopefully we can keep that momentum going.
Are you frustrated, Jimmy, about the amount of game time, and what are you doing to try and put that right? You remaining competitive as ever for a shout for a place?
Yeah, that's it. I think I just have to keep training as well as I can, and where there's a gap that comes up, or maybe as the fixtures pile up a bit, if we're replaying these postponements and whatnot, there might be a bit of rotation in there. So I just got to keep as prepared as I can be and be ready for that when I'm called upon. So that's my focus, and I'll be doing that. Obviously, returning this week, and hopefully looking forward to getting a bit more game time soon.
You mentioned that there's going to be some potentially 4-day turnarounds, and squad rotation is going to be a factor there, and you're going to be ready to go if called upon.
Yeah, exactly. I think that everyone's realising there's limited weeks left to sort of play the games that are there now, and whether we're playing 2 games a week in some weeks, and I think how we maybe manage the squad around those times is could be quite important, and whilst the lads are playing well, there's no room for me in the squad at the moment, but when those sort of fixtures pile up a bit, and maybe there's a couple of injuries here or there, and or they want to rotate the squad or whatnot, I'll be making myself ready to go then.
And for you, George, you came at the back of last season and enjoyed, if the right word, if it's the right word, some defeats towards the end of the season. So you'll be really enjoying being part of a winning squad this year with so many victories we've already earned this year.
Yeah, no, it's been a good year so far for us in terms of when I joined certainly last year. I'm sure Jimmy will agree that the squad this year is a lot more together. It makes training and the environment really good. That's a lot down to do with the coaching staff as well, and we're all buying in to the goals that we set, that we do really want to make these playoffs. Just want to build on a bit of last year as well. And last 4 games, although I know we were losing, but I really enjoyed them. I thought it was a real good stepping stone for how we start this season. And I really felt that them last few games defined us is we don't want to be in that bracket again. And then come pre-season, which we worked really hard to not be in that bracket and change people's mindsets. So certainly from there, I feel like we've galvanised as a squad, and especially the new signings coming in. It's all starting to click together now, and we're starting to make a real good progress up the table.
What's been the highlight of the season so far for you? Is it that win away at Wigan?
Yeah, probably. I think, I know I got sin-binned, but around that time, there were about 15 minutes in that first half where Wigan were just on our line constantly, and we're just defending our line. And as a player, when you're in that moment and you just got that feeling that they will not break us no matter what we do on the defensive line. And when you're in moments like that, it's even better than scoring a try or somebody else scoring a try. Moments like that are really good. So certainly, I'd say that first half against Wigan. The whole game, really, the whole game. Just to even go to Wigan, with some depleted injuries with COVID and some carrying head knocks, people playing out of position. So when you've got adversity like that and you're coming up against a strong Wigan side who, no matter who they've got playing, even the young kids at Wigan, they're really good. So it was a terrific performance. I'd say that was certainly definitely the highlight.
You got your 10 minutes in that Wigan game. Was you scratching your head a little bit as to why you got your 10, or you're going to smile with no one saw you? I was probably worth the 10 minutes there.
Yeah, I don't know actually, because the ref never gave like a team warning or anything like that. So we're a bit flabbergasted as to why he did it, but it happened. It's one of them, and luckily with the team spirit and with the morale we've got, even when we're down to 12 men, it almost seems that any adversity that you get thrown at us at the minute, we're doing really well to come up the other end. Yeah.
And you fully recovered. You had that little niggle, didn't you? You missed a couple of games in the recent run. You're feeling 100% again?
Yeah, feeling really good. Obviously, with the Salford game, it was just trying to get my match fitness back up, and I felt the second half of Wigan felt that I was getting somewhere back to my best. But I still know that I've got loads of room and improvement in me, and hopefully get knuckled down in training tomorrow and get back on the road for play against Warrington.
Good stuff. It's good to talk to you guys, and we're going to come back and have a chat again very, very soon. This is the Rovers Roundup Live with GNC Industrial Cleaning. We're going to take a short break now. We'll return to have a chat, as I said, with Jimmy and with George again in a few moments' time. But for now, we're going to get to know Rowan Milnes in a little more depth.
My biggest fear is spiders.
Yeah.
Hate them. Yeah. Went to Centre Parks once. Nah.
No. What about like, is it little spiders or like big tarantulas?
Just any of them.
Any of them?
Well, big body.
Big
I watched State of Origin yesterday actually.
Yeah.
I watched it in Garden, and like half time, my dad was looking at my t-shirt funny, and there was literally a spider like on my shoulder. And, it's the worst ever, honestly. Favourite thing? I'd say either probably the first game I had the other week with the fans. I really enjoyed that. First game in front of the home fans. Or I'd probably have to say beating Leeds in Challenge Cup with Bradford.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. My friends. I'd say smart but no common sense. If that's possible.
Yeah.
They see me and Stoz as a bit of a duo, both pretty thick. Like when it comes to like common sense, we ain't really got any.
Yeah.
Hello, welcome back. This is Rovers Roundup Live. I'm Neil Rhodes. Great to have you with us on another episode brought to you with GNC Industrial Cleaning. My guests today are Jimmy Kindhorst and George King, and of course we're doing it at a distance after the recent events at the club where we've had to see cancellations and the lockdown in place because of some positive COVID tests. But we're looking forward, hopefully, to a return to action very soon. Jimmy, let's head back to you. You've won grand finals. You had a standout moment on debut for the Robins with your derby exploits in 2019. What's been the greatest moment for you of your career so far?
Well, I think you've hit two of them there. I think obviously, the grand final win I had with Leeds back in 2015. I think that was, probably a standout just with the way that season finished there for us, and winning the treble as a squad there. That was, probably a standout moment. But it wasn't too far off the derby winning the opening round 2019. That was a pretty special end to a game, and those moments they kind of fly by at the moment, and you just want to grasp it. But I look back on that with fondness, and obviously the grand final win with Leeds. I think two of the big moments there for me in my career. Yeah,
that certainly was an incredible first game, and then to finish it off like that. And I remember we were at the wrong end of the pitch with a minute to go. We played 5 tackles and managed to get ourselves within 10 yards of the line. And you must know at that point there's a very good chance the ball's going to be coming your way. Was that feeling of expectation coming when the fifth and final or the sixth and final play was getting played? You think the ball's probably coming my way now?
Yeah, I think Josh Drinkwater lining up for a big old kick to the corner. So I sent Crooksy up for it. I said, "You go for it, mate. He's probably got a better chance of reaching it than me." So he went and knocked it back down to, I think, Danny Addy, and passed it on to Magsy, and then I was on the end of it, really, just lucky to be on the end of it. Just kept my space on that right side and managed to get there in the corner, and then got squashed for a minute or so by about 13 players. And the mascot as well.
Yeah, the mascot as well. Even the mascot was involved in the action as well. A great night. George, you've said in the past you've loved working with Tony Smith. What was the main reason you wanted to make the move to East Hull? Was that what the main reason? The fact that you had the chance to work with Tony Smith again?
Yeah, I was certainly up there. I knew that I needed a change. About halfway through, I think it was halfway through the first lockdown of COVID. Obviously, Wakefield did offer me another contract, but I just felt like at the time I just needed to move on and redevelop. And I was lucky in the sense that Tony gave me a ring, and it brought back a lot of good memories. And I just wanted to re-acquaint with him. So it was one of them where it was a no-brainer, really. And obviously not dwelling on the season before, but for this season so far, it's been really good. And one good thing about Tony is that he likes to play a good brand of rugby, and as a player, it's a pleasure to do.
You must be really enjoying your time. Such a pickup from you was at Wakefield before you came to Rovers. Is that right?
Yeah.
And the change in fortunes is something you must be really relishing at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy myself at Wakefield. It wasn't that I left on bad terms. It just so happened that during that season I got myself injured in obviously pre-season in the Derby game. The Boxing Day game against Leeds. So I missed about the first 7 or 8 games. So then I only played about 2 games.
Yeah.
Before lockdown, and then obviously my contract were up. So it was just the case of then where do I see myself in the next? Because I'm at that stage now where I think, where do I want to see myself in the next 5-10 years? So it would no brainer when Tony rang me and saw me Hull here, and I really wanted to come and hopefully so far so good.
And for you, Jimmy, you mentioned the grand finals 2015. Danny Maguire, of course, was playing at that time. Now he's part of the coaching setup here at Hull Kingston Rovers. How do you find that professional relationship with him? He's now taking training and stuff. Is it feel a little bit strange? No,
it's good. Obviously, it's a bit different. Going from the playing group into the coaching staff and your relationship. But we've kept a great relationship, and I think he's really thrived off his new role. And I think that's shown in the lads. And I think the whole group have a massive respect for him. For what he's done in the game and his knowledge of the game as well. So I think he's really thrived in that position, and it's been great for us as a squad to have him on the coaching staff this year. I think he's enjoying it as well. I think he's really enjoying that side of it, and seeing helping the young lads develop a bit more as well. And we've got some great young players coming through at the moment, and I think he's spoken about that's what he's getting from it as well, and helping these players develop a bit more. And but in terms of being assistant to Tony for the squad, he's loving it, and I think he's been really great for us and had a decent impact for us.
You've made some appearances, Jimmy, as second row. Is that something that you're trying to specialise on now, or trying to join the pack? Or
I don't mind really. Throw me in anywhere, to be honest. I'll give it a crack. But yeah, I've had a bit of experience in the back row, and I don't mind. Having a go there or the centre probably. But yeah, moving forward, I think I need to have that kind of utility about me, especially changing dynamics of the team and stuff, and going forward with a lot of fixtures backing up. So to have that bit of utility about me is probably a benefit and a positive. So I'm happy to go in anywhere and try and do a job for the team. I'll just do my best as I can in that role wherever it is.
If it hadn't been for the cancellations and the moving of the games, would have been on a derby weekend. So we've got to look forward to a couple more weeks for that game. George, you've only played in one whole derby. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. How excited at the prospect of that?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Obviously, last year it was still a good occasion because it was my first one, obviously. But to be fair, it were nothing without the fans. So I'm sure when we get the fans back, it's going to be electric. And I know they're a bit depleted at the minute with injuries, but no matter what Hull side is going to be out there come derby, form goes out the window. Like you say, whether 17 takes to the field, it's going to be a real good battle. Jimmy,
we touched on your derby exploits from a couple of years ago. You are no stranger to that atmosphere. It's just something else, isn't it? It is something else.
Yeah, it's pretty special, to be honest. It's not really like an atmosphere I'd ever experienced before. I think just with the history of the two clubs and the two clubs in this one city, it's fantastic to experience, and I'd love to be able to do it again. And I think all the boys are looking forward to that atmosphere. Now the fans are back, even with a limited capacity. You're still going to get that feeling of that environment. So it's definitely something to thrive off as well, and hopefully when we do meet them a couple of weeks down the line, we get a good turnout, and we can put in a good performance and give them something to shout about.
What are you making of Hull FC? Looking at them with their new coach Brett Hodgson, they continue to be a formidable lineup.
Yeah, they do. Like George said, they're always going to put out a strong team and be tough to beat. And I think what's been impressive this year, or the start of this year in particular, is their sort of defence. I think that's picked up a bit, and that's been noticed, across the league, I think. And if they can carry on that, then they stand a good chance of, doing something good. But like us, we've improved in that side of the game, leaps and bounds in the last few weeks in particular. So it makes for a pretty exciting encounter when we do meet. But yeah, obviously their new coach is coming in and put some things in place, and I think it has improved them in certain areas.
George, we're back to action against Warrington on the 11th of July. A tough game. We saw them beating Wigan Thursday night. You will nevertheless have no fear about playing Warrington. You'd be excited to get the lads back on the pitch and be part of it.
Certainly. I couldn't care less who we're playing, really. I'm just glad that we're going to be back as soon as possible. Obviously, coming up against a former club, it's always a good incentive to go out there and get the win. But just from a fan's perspective, it'll just be nice to be back at Craven Park again.
A player we both know well, Matt Parcells recently signed a 1-year extension. We've had other confirmations of new signings. Lewis Johnson. Who else has signed over the last couple of days? Last couple of weeks. We've had Sean Kenny Dowell, of course, confirming he's going to be here next year as well. So we're continuing to build for next year. We're signing up some of the key players, and that's got to be good for the squad. It's got to be good for the squad, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think putting those things in place, relatively early now, and putting those building blocks, for next season, whilst we don't want to look too far ahead. But certainly in terms of building the squad and building a squad around the players they've re-signed, it's looking very positive for the club. I think they've made some real good decisions there, and I think it lays a foundation for the rest of the team, whoever joins them on that journey next season.
Kane Lynette's another one, of course, who's put pen to paper as well. So it's some exciting times hopefully ahead for the club. I'm going to finish off, guys, with a few non-rugby related questions for you here. You must, I don't know, is this a good thing for you? You know, to get away from the rugby for a minute. Let's.
Yep.
Was it like general knowledge?
No, these are. Well, find out.
Oh, right, go on.
I've called them 6 tackles, so it's 6 questions. You can both answer them. So nice and easy. First one for you, Jimmy. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
What did I have for breakfast? I had a smoothie this morning with some strawberries, blueberries, bit of protein powder, bit of oat milk, topped it off with some water, and a bit of toast with peanut butter. That was my breakfast this morning.
Very nice. What about you, George?
Me, I had a full Irish breakfast.
You had a full Irish breakfast?
No, I'm joking. I had 3 eggs on toast, a bit of natural yogurt and honey, and an apple.
Are these the sort of things that are given to you? Do you get diet lists, things that you should and shouldn't be eating from the club, or is it something that you decide to eat yourself?
But not as such. I think there's help there if you want to want to ask about that, and but I think everyone's kind of expected to sort of look after their diet away from the club for sure, and but I think there is that help there if you need it, if you're not too short on certain things. So
right, next question. Have you got any secret skills? Anything we don't know about? George?
Secret skills?
Yeah.
Hang on. Miss Beyonce's here.
What about any?
Have I got any secret skills by any chance? That you know of? She's looking at me like, no.
What do you think about that, Jim?
No.
What about you, Jimmy? Anything you might surprise us with?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Depending on the mood of the room, maybe sort of a back flip into a front flip, landing in the splits.
You can do the splits?
Yeah, off a front flip, yeah, for sure.
Wow.
Go on, show us, Jimmy. Show us.
You want to give us an example on the pitch?
Yeah, next try celebration, that'll be the one.
Have you thought of a secret skill yet, George?
Yeah, I've got one. My fiance said I'm a very good cook.
A very good cook?
Very good cook.
Very good. That's good. Okay. Right, next question. What's your favourite song from when you was a teenager? Or something you might stick on the playlist when you're in the car driving to training?
You too, Pride in the Name of Love.
Oh, nice tune. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Bit of an anthem, that one, George. What about you, Jimmy?
No, I think I've got a weird kind of eclectic mix in music taste. So my brother's got me into some rap music and then some sort of indie music. Listen to Simon and Garfunkel because my mum and dad had used to play that in the car. Phil Collins. There's a bit of a weird mix of music for me. But the Verve, man, something like that.
You have to put playlists one day, see how you get on. Right, who would win a boxing match between Ryan Hall and Corbin Sims? That were you, Jimmy.
Who would win in a boxing match? Don't know. I think all he'd have to go hard early on. I think he probably wouldn't have the stamina to last a decent number of rounds. But I think if they connected with one, then Corbs might be struggling. But Corbs might just edge it on the stamina. So the long slog I think for Corbs, and he'll take it.
Yeah, I'd go Corbs.
You go Corbs, yeah.
Just Corbs on point.
I'd like to see it. It'd be a good spectacle. I think it'd be very interesting. Right, question 5. Which TV show would you like to appear on? Quiz show, bit of politics, Love Island. What would you like to go for, Jimmy?
Certainly not Love Island.
Okay.
I don't know. Come dine with me or something like that.
Come dine with. That'd be good for you, George, with your cooking skills.
Yeah, it would be. No, if I had to do one, it'd be flog it. My fiancée here, she's the right order, so I'd absolutely I'd get rid of everything.
Flog it. I love it.
Make a bit of money.
Right, and finally, do aliens and UFOs exist?
No.
That you know?
Not that, well...
Roswell?
Well, they might do, I guess, somewhere very, 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 very far away.
What about you, George?
No, not into all the conspiracy theories and all that crap.
You're not into it? No. I think I hope you let me me weird set of questions and 6 tackles. Just trying to get to know you guys a bit better.
Cheers.
Thanks for your time, fellas. I really appreciate it joining us. And the great thing is, because you've been on this one, I promise you I'll never ask you again. Well,
Cheers,
not
no worries.
Hey, great.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time, fellas. Jimmy Kindhorse and George King. Great to talk to you.
Cheers, mate. No worries.
Hope to see
Tomorrow,
you
Jimmy.
very, very soon. Thank you. Thank you to Jimmy and to
Hey,
George. Thanks. Cheers, fellas. And that's it from us. It's we've had to do it remotely, but we've still done it. It's been great to get together with the guys. Thank you very much for joining us on the latest episode of GNC's Industrial Cleaners Rovers Roundup Live, and we'll see you for another episode very soon. Thank you.